Hello, dear friends. Welcome to the next episode of How to Read the Birth Chart and Make Predictions with Astrology. I'm Marina, and I'm so happy that you are joining me in those educational series where I teach you how you can interpret your natal chart and how you can make predictions, how you can prepare for the future. This time we are going to use the chart of a volunteer, and I will show you how you can make prediction for the next 12 months for only 30 minutes. And of course, if you would like to get this reading done personally by me, you are welcome to purchase a 30-minute reading. I will put the links below the video. But if you want to do that on your own, that's perfectly fine as well. And I will show you how you can do that and basically what's the right approach. Now, let me share the screen. Okay. So this is the birth chart of our volunteer. And what we know about this woman is that she's currently unemployed, she's single, and she's interested to find out basically what kind of chances she has for a relationship and for a new job in the near future. So basically, I will show you how to approach that. The first thing that we need to start with is related with the progressions. Basically, here we can see the progress chart. I always recommend to pay attention to the progressions, and in my opinion, they're even more important than the transits. Personally, that's my favorite method for prediction. Very important, especially for psychological issues. How you feel, what kind of emotions you're going through, what kind of atmosphere, an environment you're experiencing. And of course, it also represents concrete events as well. I mean, the method of the progressions. Primary, actually, these are the secondary progressions. So, the first thing, which I always pay attention, the lunar cycle in the progressed chart. Basically, what you need to find out is the position of the sun and the moon in your progressed chart. And how are they connected? We can see here in our volunteer's chart, the sun is on the 8th degree in Capricorn and the moon is on the last degree of Sagittarius. So basically the moon is getting really close to a progressed new moon. Basically, conjunction between the moon and the sun in the progressed chart is called progressed new moon. That's a very big astrological event. We all go through those events once in 28, 29 years, not days, years. So these are major astrological events which can occur only a couple of times during our life, especially when we are adults, and we can actually do something significant with those periods. The progressed new moon is a brand new start. That's a completely new period. And it marks basically a new beginning of 28, 29 year cycle. So always pay attention when you have some of those events in the chart, in your progress chart, of course. Very, very important. What's important to know also is that right before the progressed new moon, actually, it's time to finish old stuff, to complete, to let go of the past. Generally, on this phase, when the moon is getting really close to the sun, basically it's already in the dark phase, the progressed moon here is invisible. This is not a beneficial time for brand new projects. This is not a time when you're at your full potential to materialize things. Some people may feel depressed at this point. Others might be actually, most of the people are really introverted during this period. They're more focused on themselves, on letting go of the past, making some reassessments of their lives, and that's completely okay. So if you're in the middle of this phase, you shouldn't freak out. You shouldn't think that, you know, this is gonna last forever. This is a temporary period. It's a necessary phase for all of us. And what we need to remember is to prepare for the new beginning, but to keep in mind that it's not here yet. So it's normal if we feel stuck, if we feel like nothing interesting or important is happening, and that's again okay. And the big shift, actually the biggest shift, comes right after the progressed new moon. That's the time when we are entering the new lunar cycle in our lives. And let's find out when this would happen in this horoscope. So basically around July 2019. Actually, exactly during July 2019, our volunteer, by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned, this is the chart of a woman. She has a progressed new moon during July 2019. So this marks a brand new start for her. Generally, we can advise her that she should try to avoid the important new projects. For example, starting your own business at this phase, not recommended. Even starting a relationship may not be the best choice. Of course, sometimes, you know, if someone has financial issues, they just have to find a job. We cannot stop the person, but we have to prepare him that probably what he's about to start will be short lasting. It will be a short-term solution, which can also be okay, of course. As far as I know, this person doesn't have serious financial issues, and in this case, I would suggest her to wait at least until the summer of 2019, maybe even later. We are going to find out according to other methods as well, but starting from the progressed chart, we can advise her to pay more attention to herself, to take care of her emotions, to release the past, to prepare for the new beginning, but not to rush things too much. Especially for starting her own business, not the best time, until the middle of the summer of 2019. What's important also is that this progressed new moon is in Capricorn and also in 10th house in the progressed chart, which means that it is related in some way to her career, to her social realization, her social achievements. So after this progressed new moon, actually, she may have much more opportunities in terms of career and social success. So always pay attention the sign of your progressed new moon, and also in which house, both in the progressed chart and in the natal chart. So for example, we can see this progressed new moon is in Capricorn in 10th house, and here we can see the overlays. In the natal chart, it falls in conjunction with the cusp of 12th house, also important. So basically we can suggest that it's important for her social success, her career achievements, responsibilities, but also it could be related to some kind of spiritual interests and things related to even traveling or possible relocation and immigration, also an option. And not necessarily immediately after the progressed moon, but it marks a new phase in this area. So find out where is the next or even the last progressed new moon in your chart, in which sign, in which house in the progressed chart, in which house in the natal chart it falls. And also you may pay attention to the aspects that the progressed new moon makes with your natal planets, of course, and the progressed planets as well. So let me see. Yeah, in this chart, the new moon makes sextile with her natal Venus. So another indication that this could be related to opportunities for traveling or maybe even for education, and of course for relationships and her personal life. This is kind of a new positive beginning because we have a sextile positive aspect with Venus. So pay attention to the aspects with the other planets of your chart, both progressed and natal. Okay, so up until now, we know that there is a brand new start around the summer of 2019. Before that, we can recommend the person to pay attention on his own needs, his personality, maybe his health, his education possibly. And after that, she has much better opportunities for everything, including career. Okay, let me see also, are there other major aspects? Okay, around the end of the year, so around the end of October, November, and December of 2019, the progressed moon will make conjunction with progressed Mars, which is in 10th house, and will make trine with Saturn, which is in 6th house. This is a great combination for career. Even for starting her own business or finding a job when she can be, employed. This is a great combination. And at the same time, we have a trine between Mars and Saturn. So basically, the progressed moon activates this long-lasting positive aspect between Mars and Saturn. So I think that around the end of the year will be much more beneficial for career and starting her own business or finding a job for working for somebody else. Okay, so here we have no stressful aspects, no challenging aspects. Now, of course, the conjunction between progressed moon and progressed Mars can sometimes bring possible tension, impatience. So it's not only, positive stuff, but of course it depends on how we are using this energy. And Mars in Capricorn is exalted, which is also important. So I think a very productive time, I would say, extremely productive. Now, let's see what kind of aspects do we have between the progressed planets and the natal planets, also very significant. Okay, so around the summer of 2019, as we said, right around the progressed new moon, basically the progressed moon will make sextile with her Venus. So July, August, September. Those couple of months might be very positive, first of all, for her love life, for possible relationship or maybe attraction towards someone else. And because Venus is in 9th house and also rules 9th house in the natal chart, this can be a great time for traveling as well and for education. Learning something new, improving her skills, traveling, or as we said, if the woman is interested in a relocation or immigration, this is also a positive time. Okay, and we said around the end of the year, the progressed moon makes trine with Saturn. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the transits, so we can, get a clearer idea. So here in the inner circle, you can see the birth chart. The outer circle shows the transit in planets. The first thing that you should do when you're interpreting your own chart, trying to make a prediction for the next 1 year, or maybe doing it for someone else, is to find out whether you have aspects between the outer planets and your personal planets. I mean the outer transiting planets, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. These are the planets which can bring the biggest shift in your life. So very, very significant. Let's see, and I'm talking here mostly about major aspects. So we can see that Neptune makes trine with the moon, which is very interesting. The moon is in 6th house. It also rules 6th house. Neptune is in 2nd house. So this can be very interesting for learning to take care of her health, learning to take care of her diet, or even for some kind of inspiration to help to support others. This is a very positive aspect also, which can increase the intuition. But as we said, this is a positive aspect, so we are happy to see that. Neptune will make one challenging aspect with Mercury. We have a square between Neptune and Mercury. This happens during the end of April, May, June, July, August, and part of September. So that's an interesting aspect, but challenging one, which may bring possible misunderstandings, possible confusions, possible illusions. So we have to recommend, we should advise the woman to be more careful in terms of decisions and plans that she makes. In terms of friendships, this aspect may bring some kind of disappointment, some kind of possible lies. In terms of her love life, sometimes this aspect may bring possible disappointments or extremely emotional love when you are willing to sacrifice something for the other person. Or sometimes the situation can be complicated, like possible love triangles or those type of messy personal situations. The other thing which is important is that Mercury rules 8th house. So we should recommend the woman to be very careful with financial decisions. Not the best period for taking credits or investing too much money in something. I would recommend her to avoid that during the whole year. Okay, let's see, are there other aspects? So around October, Neptune makes trine with the moon again. So basically, that's how the year ends. So Pluto and Uranus won't make major challenging or other aspects with her personal planets. Only Neptune makes one positive and one challenging aspect. So we already mentioned that. The next thing that we should do, and of course you should do that for yourself, is to find out what's going on with Saturn and Jupiter, the two social planets. Also important, and also can bring serious changes. First of all, we can see that Saturn is in Capricorn in her 12th house during the whole year. And the most important is that it will make opposition with the moon, which is in 6th house and also rules 6th house. So first of all, this position may bring some kind of isolation. She may feel a little bit lonely or emotionally frustrated, emotionally stuck. And that's again completely normal. This is a phase which will pass. Also, because the moon and 6th house in this horoscope are related to her career, I think that this aspect, this opposition, will bring challenges with starting a new job. So let's find out when this will pass. Basically, during the end of January and February, Saturn makes opposition with the moon, so kind of a challenging aspect. Then it passes around the second half of February. Meanwhile, also Saturn squares Pluto, the ruler of 10th house. Another indication that this might be a tough period for starting a new job, or even if she starts, probably it won't be satisfying. It won't be fulfilling. Okay, and then around July, Saturn squares Pluto again. And around the end of July and August, Saturn makes opposition with the moon. And also during October and November. So basically, during November, she has the last challenging aspect. Saturn makes the last opposition with the moon and the last square with Pluto, which is the ruler of 10th house. So in my opinion, after that, so from December, this woman will have much better opportunities for starting a job or her own business, or things will, start to be easier in terms of this area of her life. So, for example, if Saturn makes challenging aspect, opposition, especially the opposition, but also the square, with the ruler of your 6th house or 10th house, or makes those aspects with planets which are in 6th and 10th house, generally this is not a beneficial period for starting a new job. Very often people may quit or may feel really stuck in terms of their career and their growth. Not always, of course, not everyone loses their job on those aspects, but they mark some kind of challenging events or circumstances or emotions. So, as we also saw in the progressions, she had some positive stuff happening around the end of 2019. So basically, I would say 2019, the end, this December, is the best period for a new job. Also, we can see that the transiting lunar nodes are in her 12th and 6th house. Also pay attention, where are the lunar nodes, the transiting lunar nodes in your chart. The North Node is in 6th house during this year, which also suggests that she should focus more on practical stuff, doing concrete things, maybe helping others, maybe even taking care of her health. Also, we should say that this opposition between Saturn and the Moon in 6th house may also require more attention to her health. Very important. And with the North Node here, a great time to start a new regime, great time if she wants to lose weight or start some kind of diet, a very positive aspect. And actually, that's what can help her to handle with this opposition between Saturn and the Moon. And around the end of the year, around December, basically, the lunar node, the North Node, will be very close to the cusp of her 6th house. This can also put the beginning of something new in terms of her career and work and responsibilities and daily routines. Okay, so let's see what's going on with Jupiter during 2019. Also, you should do that in your chart. So basically, Jupiter makes conjunction with Mars around the beginning of 2019. Mars rules 3rd house, so positive period for traveling at the beginning of 2019. Then Jupiter enters 11th house and will make conjunction with Neptune and Mercury. Interesting combination. So Jupiter in conjunction with Neptune actually can bring positive stuff in terms of her financial situation, because Neptune rules 2nd house. Mercury rules 5th house. So for love or for creativity or for some kind of inspiration, this is also a positive aspect. Let's see, and the same combination repeats around the summer, June, July, and then again around September and October. So basically, these are interesting periods for socializing, for communicating with other people, potentially for love. This may also be interesting. However, we saw that Neptune makes the other stuff, so there might be some kind of situation which may require certain sacrifices, but it may still be emotionally quite intense. Basically, these are the aspects of Jupiter. One more thing that I also want to talk about is the solar return chart. This is one of the most interesting methods for prediction. I would try to, give you some basic advices, but of course it requires, well, a lot of knowledge and experience how to interpret that. Let me see. So I'm not sure how much of that you're seeing because of the camera here, but anyways, here we can see her solar return chart for 2019. The most important thing that we should start with is the ascendant. The ascendant is in Libra, and we can see also Venus is in Libra in exact conjunction with the ascendant. A very interesting aspect for relationships, for love, for harmony, and also in the horoscope of a woman, I would say also time to take care of her self, of her feminine energy, including her appearance. I think that this should be one of the major topics of the year for this woman, to reconnect with her feminine energy, to balance her emotions, herself, to find a way to feel more attractive. And after that, she will have much better chances to, to feel comfortable with others, to attract what she wants. So really positive, really strong position. Venus is in Libra, very, very strong sign position. In the natal chart, we can see that it falls in her 9th house. I mean, the solar return ascendant together with Venus. So another indication that this is a great period for traveling and learning new things. I mean, the whole year. Let's see. Also, the Sun and Jupiter are in 2nd house. Very positive position for finances, for her resources, for taking care of her own energy, feeling more empowered. Very positive position as well. Okay, let me see. Also, Neptune is in 5th house in the solar return chart. So Neptune can bring love, can bring incredibly strong emotions. So for creativity, this is also great. All right. And this solar return chart will affect her after November 2019. We can see the ascendant is in Capricorn, Saturn is in conjunction with the ascendant, Mars is in conjunction with the cusp of 10th house, Uranus is in 4th house. So this can be a very transformative period. Also, the solar return ascendant falls in 12th house. So here we can talk about more changes, possible change of home or even traveling or relocation, but also I think more opportunities for starting some brand new or something important in terms of career. So basically that's the way to approach or to make prediction for a whole year. Let me summarize that. Just let me stop the sharing. Okay. All right. So let me summarize all of that, what we have just done, so that you can do that on your own if you would like to. Of course, in terms of your own chart or the chart of your close people. First, I usually start with the progress chart. I pay attention to the lunar cycle in the progress chart. When is the next new progress new moon? Of course, each of the phases has different interpretations as well. This is extremely important. The aspects of the progress moon during the whole year are also extremely important, both to the progress planets and to the natal planets. Other major aspects are also significant as well. And after that, you can analyze the transits starting from the outer planets, the transiting outer planets, and your personal planets. They can give you the most significant information, and the biggest changes are marked by those aspects. Also, the social planets, Saturn and Jupiter, show important transitions and changes and certain periods as well. And after you analyze all of that, you can analyze also your solar return chart. Basically, some of the major things you should start with are the solar return ascendant, the sign position, planets in first house, where does the solar return ascendant falls in the natal chart. All of those things can also give you more information, what the year can look like, what you should focus on, how it's more likely to feel, which are the major topics for the year as well. So that's the basic information. I hope it was helpful. Of course, if you need support, if you want to receive that personally from me, you're welcome to purchase a 30-minute reading. The links are below the video. So that's the most important. Thank you very much for watching this episode of how to read the birth chart and make predictions with astrology. I'll see you next time on Mars Stars.